Guys, I need help. You see, I'm kinda old. My memory fails me, I slouch over when I'm on my PC, and my anime senses have become very spotty. I simply can't get a read on what's going on in the anime community. And more importantly, I got no idea what new cute anime girl is everyone's waifu of the season. Now, I know it sounds silly, but this is crucial information for me, okay? I love cute anime girls. They're the reason I got so into anime in the first place. I got them on t-shirts, on my walls, in my bookshelf. But post 2020, things have felt off. My ability to latch on to the best girl of the season has waned. I still love the anime waifus of yesteryear, but I don't seem to grow attached to any of the ones from present day. Nor do I seem to know which anime girl is most popular at any given time, really. Sure, my weeb friend sends me a constant stream of very risque anime art on Instagram DMs, and I get a general read on what anime is big at the time by going to conventions and seeing the cosplays and merch, but I just don't feel like any of it has any staying power. Like I blink, and the previous cute girl on everyone's feed has been replaced by a new one. Not when a new season starts, not on a monthly or bi-weekly basis, sometimes weekly or in a couple days. But I couldn't put my finger on why this was so bothersome. Part of it was that I'm not plugged into the anime algorithm anymore. I have no idea what's airing next season. But even when I ventured out, determined to find a waifu that was the talk of the town, I would find multiple options floating around in social media, all with a sizable degree of engagement. So then, what felt off? What was the difference between these anime girls and the ones from the past? I could say that the older waifus like Asuka, Rei, Ria's Gremory, Haruhi Suzumiya, Ram, the Konosuba girls, and all anime girls pre-2018 for the matter, just had some secret sauce that gave them staying power. But was that right? No, it wasn't, because the average kid on TikTok probably has no idea who Haruhi even is. So then, was it the environment? Were we all just more passionate about our waifus back then? Some of us, sure, but not by much. I watch anime from all eras, and there's definitely some cute but not so charismatic anime girls we left behind in the 2010s. Is the quality of the average waifu worse? No, not really. Marin, Kaguya, the Chainsaw Man girls, all these have staying power. Their merch still sell like hotcakes at conventions, and they're still very popular cosplays. And so, I sat there thinking, I might be old, out of the loop, grumpy, out of touch? Am I out of touch? Really? I was seriously considering that possibility. Am I out of touch? I was despondent, looking at my precious anime girls on my wall, ready to accept the cruelty of age. But as I looked at the assortment of illustrations smiling cutely at me, I thought of what my most recent additions to my waifu list were, and I realized that, no, I'm not out of touch. It's the children who are wrong, of course. Because you see, I have a theory. The quality of the average anime waifu hasn't gone down. The waifu empire has just grown outside the scope of anime, and there's a couple reasons for that. So let's get the obvious one out of the way. Technology. It's no secret that the main way younger anime fans engage with anime is through social media, mainly Instagram Reels and TikTok, with a sprinkle of Twitter, thrown in there, thrown on top or whatever, but Twitter's algorithm is a little messed up, so whatever. You can go on any platform right now, type in anime, and scroll until you find a clip of an anime girl being cute or hot, paired with a comment section filled with people asking for the sauce. Do people still say that? Do people still say sauce? I don't know. I think they do. A big recent example is Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. There was a suggestive scene in the anime that went viral in pretty much every media platform. It got so popular and became so memorable that Alia herself was cast aside, and Yuki, the stepsister of the protagonist, was crowned the anime waifu of the season. Stickers and prints were made, cosplays were worn, but then Alia herself had a suggestive scene, and this kinda went viral too, and so it turned into an anime clips arm race of Alia versus Yuki, and then we moved on. This is fairly common in short form content. There's whole pages dedicated to cutting up the most recent seasonal harem into a sequence of suggestive scenes, all with the purpose of having them go viral. It works every time, so of course more of them pop up by the day. These posts get thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of views, but do these views transfer into someone watching the actual anime? Well, I actually went and did a very thorough and scientific case study to figure this out. The study consisted of a very robust group of a single person, my friend that sends me these waifu reels on Instagram. That's the only guy I kind of talk to a little bit. From what I've gathered over the years, he doesn't watch a lot of the anime he sends me reels of. He just likes the designs, or happens to like that particular scene, or is going to get to that anime eventually surely, but in the meantime, he'll just keep watching the clips, right? This is just one dude, but when studies about reduced attention spans keep getting shoved in my face, I don't feel so confident that others are engaging with the anime they're watching TikToks of. The strategy in social media is divide and conquer. The attention economy is king. So of course, we don't see the same force we used to see push anime waifus into being crowned the anime queen of the year, or hell, even the season. O2 from Darling in the Franxx was a very big deal back in 2018, right before TikTok and Reels took off. But would she dominate the way she did then if that anime released now? I mean, maybe she would. I don't know. That's answer that question. I don't know. Maybe she would. So, there's the old man yells a cloud angle out of the way, alright? My two other reasons are a lot more positive, don't worry. My second reason is gacha. You remember earlier in the video when I said I was staring at the waifus on my wall? Well, that was foreshadowing, silly. I said that because I have two giant Azur Lane posters hanging on my wall. So, gacha games are games where you're not guaranteed any character in the game. You have to roll for them with in-game currency or real money. These characters are usually cute anime girls or handsome anime boys. Gacha has been around for a very long time, but it really didn't hit the mainstream, especially in the West, until 2020, with the release of Genshin Impact. Yes, things like Azur Lane and Can Cole were around, but Genshin changed things because it was appealing to all genders. Like, everyone had someone they liked in that game for the most part for a little bit. And so it became the gateway to other gacha. If you like the hot girls, you could go try Azur Lane, Girls Frontline, and Sendless Zone Zero later on. If you like the hot guys, you could go play Honkai Star Rail, Arknights, Wuthering Waves, or Punishing Grey Raven. Of course, this didn't happen in an orderly timeline. I'm not saying Genshin and then all these other anime grew, that's not what I'm saying. And obviously the fact we were all stuck home helped. And yeah, I'm also being reductive because no one gender played exclusively this game or the other. I personally played Arknights, But still, 2020 was the year gacha dug its feet firmly into the ground and established itself as an essential pillar of the anime community. You either played or at least had to know a gacha or two in order to engage with the fan art, the cosplays, or the memes. The appeal of the anime waifu or husbando in gacha is simple. You earned them. You grinded the game and you rolled until you got that cool waifu you saw online. Once you got them, you leveled them up, took them with you on missions, learned their skill sets, bought them skins. You spent time with the character at your own pace. You grow to love this or that line they say when you poke them or get a perfect rating on a level. You're 2 degrees of separation from this character directly interacting with you, and you decide when you're done with them. You don't have to rewatch an anime or reread a manga to interact with them. They're on your phone and computer. You can look at them at work, on your commute, while waiting at the doctor's office. There's a reason so many gacha have an affection bar, right? Like, there's a reason you can marry your favorite warship and Azur Lane. Not only that, but gacha games can just pump out waifus and husbandos till infinity and beyond. Anime are limited to a couple a season at most. But gacha, your favorite waifu might just be an update away, buddy, Gacha have their issues, of course. Just type "why is gacha bad" onto Google and you'll get like a whole lot of results from posts to actual articles and stuff. But they did speed up the waifu arms race to an insane degree. And they were the perfect proof that anime fans will sometimes be willing to pay a lot for less than a finished product. They're willing to pay for a character, a PNG, if it means they can call it theirs, if it means they can add it to their collection. And yeah, that does sound dystopian, I'm not gonna lie, but I love it. Gacha games are fun, and a lot of them have gameplay loops you can't find anywhere else. The lore is good, the designs are dope, it gives the cosplay and artist communities an endless well of cool designs. Overall, it's a fine addition to the anime sphere, as long as it's handled in moderation and it's not predatory, right? I used to waste hundreds at a time on my ship girls in Azur Lane. I've done a transaction or two to get Wizardel on Arknights, and I didn't get her, by the way. I didn't get her, even though I spent a whole lot of money on her. My favorite gacha games characters are Mudrock and Thorns from Arknights, and St. Louis and Cheshire from Azur Lane. Just in case you guys were wondering, just in case you guys were wondering. That's mine too. So, you remember how I said the beginning of this video was foreshadowing? Well, surprise. There was actually an extra layer of foreshadowing on top of the foreshadowing, which I bet you didn't see coming. That's, I'm pretty clever like that. Because more than gacha games, I think a big portion of the passionate anime fans that would put figures in a jar, cuddle with body pillows, fly out for meet and greets, and fight for their waifus to the death are now into VTubers. Think about it. If the appeal of gacha games is that you're 2 degrees of separation from directly interacting with your number one waifu, why wouldn't you go to a waifu that can literally reply to your message. VTubers are by far the waifus, if you want to call them, or husbandos, with the longest staying power out there. Gargura was recently singing at Dodger Stadium. The impact is undeniable. They also come in all varieties. You have VTubers that are hardcore gamers, VTubers that are edgy, VTubers that are NSFW, VTubers that cook, VTubers that show their face, VTubers that only play one game, and my favorite, VTubers that put on a character for their fans, like in wrestling, right? Like, in truth, this whole idea came about when I was looking at the 2 Fuwamoko posters I paid $80 for because I love them, right? Like, I got those posters, and then I also got $60 hoodie, and I got some stickers, and my girlfriend got me like an acrylic stand of them, and I'm a member of their channel, and I tune into Fuwamoko mornings while I'm at work. Like, that's an insane level of devotion, even for somebody like me. And most VTuber fans that legitimately are passionate about their favorite VTuber will do this kind of stuff without hesitation. It's why every artist in the artist alley at conventions will have at least one VTuber print or keychain for sale. Why VTubers are always major guests at conventions and even have a whole convention of their own. Why the top female streamers are all mostly VTubers. The VTuber community is such a robust and passionate fan base, and it makes sense. I mean, you're combining idol culture and waifu culture in a single place. That's like an atomic bomb of devoted fans. That's a nuclear winter of devoted fans, you know? What is the appeal of a waifu? Well, it's a cute anime girl with an interesting design and personality you latch onto because it brings you joy to have a character you love dearly. What are the downsides? Well, the fact that the number of ways you can interact with them is limited. You can maybe buy a figure, a body pillow. You certainly can't talk to them or give them money directly. VTubers got rid of this problem. You can always interact, can always follow them along, reply on Twitter, like their reels or TikToks. You can take breaks from them and come back later, buy their voice packs for merch. They can switch designs, leave corporations or join corporations, go to a convention where you can meet them, host the concerts you can pay to see. VTubers are the perfect anime waifu because they're what an anime waifu sadly could never be. They're real. And so you mix in gacha games, anime, and VTubers into the blender that is social media. The blender we all drink this anime community smoothie from nowadays. And you get a more varied but less intense flavor. You get gacha waifus, VTuber waifus, and anime waifus all waiting for their turn in the spotlight, all generating an endless amount of clips meant to go viral for a day or two, all competing for the attention of the average anime fan. Is it a good thing? I don't know. I like Fuwamoko and Arknights, so I don't really mind. But I do miss when anime convention halls had prints of old school waifus like Haruhi for sale here and there, you know? Like, instead of the gacha game VTuber and seasonal waifu mishmash that has become the norm. Ultimately, I'm just old. And this probably isn't a big deal for anyone else. But I can't change the fact it feels bittersweet. I wish there was one place where we could crowdsource the overall opinion of the anime community, but is that even possible anymore? I mean, there's so many little pockets of the community now. Gacha games and VTubers all have their own individual cliques. Anime opinions change depending on what social media platform you're on, but, well, that's a whole conversation for a whole different day, you know? I do think it's a good thing anime has cast such a wide net through these algorithms and communities. And also, I do really like Fuwamoko and Arknights a lot, you know? Thanks for watching.